dyslexia. It's amazing how many brilliant people I know are dyslexic, and Dylan is one of them. Dylan Smith, welcome.
Good morning, David. What a pleasure to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
Well, thanks for taking the opportunity, because I have seen the evolution of awareness of dyslexia, and it is best represented to me of being able to take somebody's social perspective of weakness, something like dyslexia, and through awareness, move it to a place of strength. And it's taken a long time for people with dyslexia to feel comfortable with, one, knowing what the problem is, and two, embracing it not as a problem, but as a strength to allow yourself to do something that has been relative to the Tao. The Tao is an historical text of over almost 3,000 years ago. The Tao means the way. And inherent in what I believe is a superpower called dyslexia is the way. Because if we look at things or change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. And people with dyslexia see things in a different way that allows us to accelerate, aggregate, and compound in our own exponentiality. For you, what has been your dyslexic journey?
My dyslexic journey has been one heck of a journey because um, I didn't know I was dyslexic until I was 16 years old. So I did kindergarten twice to being 16 years old in 10th grade, not knowing how many letters there were in the alphabet, coming in before class, skipping lunch, skipping gym, staying after school to show the teachers that I cared and effort is not a problem, and then going to my tutor after school to work on that, and then still after my tutor at 9 p.m., going to work with my parents and getting a 50. Like, all that work goes in. I get those 50s, I get those 40s, and my peers are looking at me telling me I'm the stupid kid. I don't know how to read. I'm stupid. I'm this, I'm that. And it was such a perspective shift because I remember walking into my guidance counselor's office and being like, Miss Cummins, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. Like, I'm totally burnt out. And she goes, Dylan, I'm more worried about those kids who put in half an hour to get a 90 than I am you who put in, let's say, 10 hours for a 50, because this will transfer to an abundant life, she said. And she looked me in my eyes and she said, Dylan, you have an entrepreneurial mindset. And I was like, I have no idea what that means, and I hope you don't ask me to spell it. And it's, I was a class of COVID. So I graduated high school in 2020, and I was able to do a lot of running, a lot of thinking, and a lot of YouTube and podcasts and keynotes. Whereas I came across you, I came across Tony Robbins, I came across Craig Siegel, my mentor, I came across people like Ken Johnston, and I was able to run and listen to your guys' keynotes, your podcasts, and I was like, why do I resonate with this so much? Like, why does this make so much sense? And it came to me during a run that my true belief is somebody always has it worse. And my full story is I was adopted twice. I was misdiagnosed. I had an alcoholic father. I lived in an orphanage in Russia. And my true belief is somebody always has it worse. So if that's the case, and I've just found out that I overcame dyslexia and got to do the impossible and graduate high school, then who am I to keep those tools from others who may be going through it worse than I did? And if I have the power and the connections and the programs to make it better for somebody, who would I not be to do that and share that? So now I've been able to overcome it. I had to throw away summers in high school learning my ABCs at 16 years old, which was so humbling, but I honestly wouldn't change it for the world, because now I've built a business out of it. I've been on tour, keynote speaking. I've been doing podcasts. I've been collaborating with amazing people like yourself. And I've been able to not only impact one person, which was my goal, but impact thousands.
And soon to be millions. And Dylan, one of the reasons I wanted to have you on our live is that you are an illustration in the definition of a desire that we must be what we can be. And although you're 23 years old and speaking around the world and have a huge career in front of us, that without that desire that you must be what you can be, you would not be who you are today, empowering so many other people, and will continue to empower so many other people that may suffer with dyslexia or some other strength that's in the wrong position, that allow other people to laugh at us, scoff at us, and make fun of us. And then eventually, as you're proving, and so have I, that they will applaud you. One of the integrated philosophies specifically relative to that desire is a certain faith. And we all come to the moment of question. I can't do this anymore. And those
Yeah.
people that have a desire that they must be what they can be quickly get out of the quitter's mindset and once again go and roll back into the trajectory, the divine direction and divine time. For you, when you hit that moment, how important was your counselor, but also how important was your faith in order to get back up, get back started, in order to accelerate and aggregate and compound exponentially the influence and impact that you have today?
It was what a great question. So it was a beautiful. That brings me back to a time because I remember my father. I was officially diagnosed at 16 years old by Marta Flom, and she said, "Hey, your son's got dyslexia. Take him off the meds." And I remember my dad looking me in my eyes. We were standing in the garage, and he said, "Dylan, are you willing to go to a tutor every night? And you're going to have to do it all summer. But I think that if we do this, there's a chance that you can graduate." And I remember this very vividly, looking him in his eyes and going, "Dad, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to no longer be the stupid kid." And I landed a production deal at 20 years old at Royal Communications Center. And my first guest on my completely produced podcast was Miss Cummins, my guidance counselor. So what a beautiful podcast that was. But then this last year, I did my very first tour, and my tour started in my hometown where I spoke to the entire district staff of my school that I went from. And I'd given such a performance that I went back these last couple of weeks and I got to do a tour in my own hometown where I spoke to each individual grade. Each grade was an individual conference. And I got to see the impact go into the community that I came out of. And how special that has been is because I have the opportunity I mentor kids one-on-one with ADHD and dyslexia. But to bring that back home where I came from and see the change and see the kids. And I gave a speech and I was standing next to the principal when I was done. And a sixth grade girl came up to me. And she came up to me and the principal in tears and she said, "Dylan, thank you so much for coming. I think this is going to help me and a lot of us kids in here. I can't thank you enough." And then looked at the principal and said, "Thank you for having him come." And then all three of us teared up. And it was like, I looked at him and I said, "This is why I do this. This is why I do this." In the result of, I hope the next Elon Musk, the next president, the next David Meltzer, the next Tony Robbins comes from that. They go, "Okay, I remember seeing Dylan Smith speak at my school when I was in sixth grade, but now here I am. I don't want this to be about me at all. I want this to empower people to do things that are bigger than that."
And this is why I do what I do, to have someone like you be able to be here with me. And I hope to help you, as I have with Craig and others, to help you empower even more people. Get your message out there. Let your light shine. I know you're in New York, so hopefully I can see you tomorrow. You can come out and shadow me for the day. Come to Propelify. Come to our holding court. Come to Times Square. Come to our VIP dinner. We're going to be right in your backyard in New York. Hopefully you can come and we can meet in person. And if not, or in addition, please join us on our other shows. The world needs to hear your story and learn the lessons from your story. What an articulate and compassionate, empowering and inspirational speaker you've become. And I know, like I said, that light will shine thanks to your desire that you must be what you can be. And of course, your faith that through the struggles and challenges of all the things you've described here today, that you had the faith that you were protected and promoted by what seemed to be punishment. And thank goodness everybody now is applauding you. As you can see, all the comments of people applauding you, not laughing, not scoffing, not making fun, but applauding you. And they will applaud others that are laughed at today because of Dylan Smith. I hope to see you tomorrow, my friend. My team will be reaching out. God bless you and congratulations.
Thank you, Dave, for the opportunity, and I will be seeing you
God,
tomorrow. And I appreciate everything.
thank you, D. Take care. D is for dyslexia. It's also for Dylan. It's also for David. They laugh at us. They scoff at us. They make fun of us. But if you have the desire that you must be what you can be, and you have the faith to get to where you want to be or better, I promise you, they will applaud you. Go ahead, email me if you want to join Dylan and I tomorrow in New York City, or you'd like to join us in Los Angeles at a mastermind, or of course with Dane Cook. We'll be collaborating with our audience. Rob Riggle will be hosting and emceeing it.